Hello guys, Softoni here, and in today's tutorial I will be showing you how to create an epic cinematic intro in After Effects. In this video you will learn how to make a powerful and professional looking intro that's perfect for your own projects. And the best part, you don't need any plugins to achieve this cinematic effect. And before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any of my upcoming video tutorials. So let's jump straight into After Effects and start creating. Alright, we're here in After Effects, and as always let's create new composition. Hit on this little icon, and this is gonna be like always Final Comp 1920 by 1080 30 fps, and for the duration I will go 30 seconds. Hit OK, and now let's create background. Go right click to create new solid layer. This is gonna be BG4 background, also 1920 by 1080, and then hit OK. Now let's go here inside the effects and presets, and if you can't find it, just go Windows and you will find effects and presets here. I will now type for color gradient effect, drag and drop onto the background, and here let's make further adjustments. For the first and fourth color I will do pure black color. You can also use eyedropper like so, and just move handles to somewhere around here, just a bit outside of our composition. And for the second and third color I will do dark orange color, maybe something like this, and also you can use eyedropper for this color 3, and I will just do maybe different type. Hit OK, and now it's time to create another solid layer. Go right click to create new solid, and this is gonna be FN for fractal noise, also 1920 by 1080, and then hit OK. Now go here again and I will find fractal noise effect, drag and drop on the FN solid layer. OK, and here let's make further adjustments. For the fractal type let's change from basic to turbulent basic. OK, and for the noise type let's go to spline. For the contrast let's type 125, and for the brightness -25. Alright, let's change here complexity from 6 to 20, and also let's open up this transform options and change scale from 100 to 700. Alright, and also open up subsettings and change subrotation to around 80 degrees. Now let's also animate evolution. Hold Alt on your keyboard and then left mouse click on this stopwatch, and I will type here time asterisk maybe 20, and this is gonna be our animation of our fractal noise effect. And also for the blending mode, change here from normal to color dodge, and if you can't find blending modes, just hit here on toggle switches and modes. Also in every moment you can hit here background and change whatever color you want here in this final composition, and just hit OK. Alright guys, that was our first step, and now it's time to create text. Hit Ctrl+T or go and hit on this little icon, and I'm using this Bevel font, and font size it's around 200. OK, and now hit here and I will type random text cinematic. Alright, and now let's hit here again on our text and go here on align option and center it, and if you can find align, just go window and you will find align here. Alright, now it's time to animate our cinematic text, but before that let's go right click and find here layer styles and hit here on Shading. Okay, now let's open up this option, and for the distance let's type 110, and for the size let's go to around 50. And now as you can see we have this cool looking pattern. Alright, and now let's hit here, go here again on the effects and preset. I will type ramp effect, also drag and drop onto our cinematic text. Grab this first point, move somewhere around here, and the second one somewhere around here. Okay, and for the start color you can change to maybe this type of gray color, and now just hit OK. Now it's time to animate our cinematic text. Hit here on the animate panel and find here tracking. For the tracking I will go here at 0 second and set up the first keyframe, then go to around 5 seconds or so, and I will do maybe 50. And now when we hit 0, this is our animation. And also let's go here on animate panel, find here blur, go here again at 0 seconds, set up the first keyframe here, type 20. Alright, then go also to around 5 seconds and I will go 0. And now when we hit 0 in this final composition, this is our animation. Now let's duplicate this cinematic text, hit Ctrl+D, and move this cinematic tool below this first cinematic text, hit S for scaling, and I will do maybe 98%. And also for this ramp effect, for this cinematic tool, change to white color. And now as you can see, we have this fake extrusion of our cinematic text. Hit OK, and now it's time also to make further adjustments on our cinematic tool text. Hit U to show all of the keyframes. And for the blur for this first keyframe, I will type instead of 20, just 10. Alright, and now let's pre-compose cinematic and cinematic tool text. Alright, select it, go right click and then pre-compose, and I will just type here text, select the second option and then hit OK. And for the blending modes, let's change here from normal, let's go also classic color dodge or color dodge, it's up to you. And go here in the effects and preset, and I will type here Bevel alpha, this one, drag and drop on our text. And here for the edge thickness, I will do 10. And also you're free to play around here with light angle, and I will do for the light intensity maybe around 10. Okay, now let's add another effect, and this is gonna be CC glass effect. Alright, this one also drag and drop onto the text, and here open up surface and change softness maybe to around 40, and for the height I will do -10, and for the displacements let's try 20. Okay, now let's duplicate this text once again, hit Ctrl+D and delete Bevel alpha and the glass effect on this new composition. Okay, and change here blending mode from color dodge and find here add. And now when we hit 0, our cinematic text is looking great. Wait until this renders out in the final composition. And as I have already said, our cinematic text is looking awesome. Alright guys, that was the first part of this tutorial, and now it's time to create particles. But before that, let's add adjustment layer. Go right click to find here adjustment layer, and this is gonna be glow. Okay, go here in the effects and preset, and I will find glow effect, drag and drop onto the adjustment layer, and basically you can play around here with radius, threshold and everything else, maybe to go to around 70. Just experiment until you're satisfied with your own final results. Alright, and now it's time to create particles. Go right click to create new solid layer, and this one let's rename it to particles, and for the width and height I will do 3840, 2160. This is gonna be larger one, hit OK. And now go here again in the effects and preset, and let's type particle world, CC particle world, this one drag and drop onto our particles. Now let's also readjust few settings here inside this particle world effect. For the birth rate I will do 2.5, something like this. Longevity let's move to around 2.2 or so. And now let's open up producer, and here for the position Y I will go to around 0.40 or so. And for the radius X, Y and Z go to around 0.5, something like this, and also for the Z. And now let's open up physics, change here animation from explosive to cone axis, and let's go velocity, I will go 3, and also for the gravity let's go to -0.5, something like this. For the resistance I will type 40, and now for the extra I will also type 4. And now let's open up particle and change here from line, I will go and find here lens convex, something like this. And now let's change here bird size to 0, and for the dead size I will go to 0.3 or something like this. Now select this particles solid layer, hit R for rotation and rotate it to around 35 or 40 degrees. And now when we hit 0 we have these cool looking particles here inside our final composition. Now go here in the effects and preset again, find glow effect, drag and drop onto the particles, and also change blending mode from normal to color dodge, and as you can see this is looking great. You can of course import here for example vector blur effect if you have enough strong PC to support this effect, and you can type here -10, and as you can see now we have this kind of look. This is optional, I will just turn it off. It's up to you to play around with this effect. You can also duplicate these particles solid layer and to have two different type of particles. As I have already said, this is up to you. I will turn off this vector blur effect for now. And now we have this type of particles. Let's hit 0 once again to see the preview. Wait until this renders out. And as you can see, our cinematic text is looking great. Just grab here this solid layer, move it to the left a bit. And this is looking great. Just expand it to around here. Alright guys, now let's add here another adjustment layer. Go right click to create new adjustment layer, and this is gonna be lens flare. Okay, go here in the effects and preset, and I will type lens flare effect, drag and drop onto the adjustment layer. And basically you can play around here with the lens type, maybe to go 35mm prime. Also for the flare center, upper left corner. You can also experiment with different options, maybe to leave it to this first option. And now let's animate, go here to 0 seconds, set up the first keyframe for the flare center. Let's also go to around 5 or 6 seconds and move this X parameter all the way to this side, or maybe something like this. Hit also T for the opacity. You can play around with visibility of this lens flare effect, maybe to go to around 40%. Let's hit 0, and as you can see, now we have also animated flares inside this final composition. Alright guys, you can experiment here a bit more with background, hit F3. If you are not satisfied with the color, you can go maybe different kind of look, hit OK. And basically the best thing is you can always go here inside this background effect and change whatever color you want. If you want to see different type of colors, just find it and then just hit OK. Now let's pre-compose everything. I will close this effects control for now. Select here everything, go right click and then recompose, and this is gonna be slide 01. Hit OK. And now we can also make here slide 02. Let's duplicate this slide 01 here in the project window. Alright, hit Ctrl+D, and for this slide 02, let's import it here in this final composition. This slide 02, let's move to around 4 seconds. Let's open up this new composition, select this text composition, and let's also duplicate this text here inside project window. Hold Alt on your keyboard, just drag and drop onto our text. And now when we change texts here, you will see that will appear as a different here in the final composition. I'll just hit here intro for both text, and here inside the finals we have cinematic and also intro text. Now we will also create transition for our slide 02. Let's go right click to create new solid layer, and this is gonna be TR for transition. I'll go full HD 1920 by 1080 like before, hit OK. And just move this solid layer to match it with our slide 02. Now go here again inside this effects and preset, and I will type burn film effect. Also drag and drop onto our transition. And here let's animate. Go here at 4 seconds, set up the first keyframe for burn, then go maybe to around 8 seconds or so, and I will go to around 100%. And also don't forget to change blending mode on this slide 02 from none to luma inverted. And now as you can see, we will also have transition of our slide 02. Let's hit 0. This is our first text, cinematic, and wait until this renders out in the final composition. Let's hit 0 once again, our cinematic text, and this is gonna be transition and our text 02. Now let's hit T for opacity for our slide 02. Let's go to somewhere around here. Set up the first keyframe and then go to around here, and let's lower down to around 0%. And also for the final step, let's create background. Go here, find your new solid layer. This is gonna be BG. Hit OK, move it below, and go here in the effects and preset, and I will type fill effect, drag and drop onto the background. Change color, of course, to black color. Hit OK. And now here in the finals, we have this cool looking animation, our first text, cinematic. And this is gonna be our second text, intro, and this is looking great. In every moment you can go here inside this slide 01 or slide 02 to change text. I will do, for example, slideshow, just random text, just to show you. Also for this second text, it's really important when you change this first text to change also the second one. And here in the finals, as you can see, this is gonna be cinematic, and our second text is now slideshow. Alright guys, now let's add another adjustment layer here. Go right click to create new adjustment layer, and this is gonna be spotlight. Okay, go here inside the effects and preset again, find CC spotlight effect, drag and drop onto the adjustment layer. And here let's also make further adjustments. Now let's grab this handle, move it to somewhere around here. Also for the height, let's type 100%. For the cone angle, I will do 20. And for the edge softness, also let's go to around 100%. And basically you can play around here with the intensity. I will go to around 60. And if you want to emphasize like this cinematic text, this is with our spotlight effect, and this is without our spotlight effect. It's basically up to you to play around here with spotlight. You can also hit T for opacity, play around with visibility, and so on. Now let's add another adjustment layer. Find here new adjustment layer. This is gonna be Tritone, and go here also in the effects and preset. I will type Tritone Effect, drag and drop also on the adjustment layer. And basically you can also play around here with the midtones if you want to change scene color. You can also change different type of color, something like this maybe, hit OK. You can also play around with the blending modes, overlay, maybe to go screen, just experiment until you're satisfied with your own results, maybe overlay, and go hit T for the opacity and go to around 20%. And now we have look like this. And when you change your color, just hit here OK when you're satisfied with your own final results. Alright guys, that was everything for today's tutorial, and of course you can add more effects here if you want, like lens flares, light sweeps, light trace, and so many more. And this is the way so you can easily create your intros, slideshows, and everything else. And also if you want to create slide 03, just repeat the process, duplicate here inside the project window, then add it here, create another transition, and in really short time you can create your intro or your own slideshow. And also guys, if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. You can also leave me a comment down below in the comment section, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also take a look at my channel for more great tutorials. And until next time, stay creative and bye bye.